You're a catalyst for heroism. Without you, we're just individuals. With you, we're a team.
Days passed. In the training dimension, though only hours ticked by in the real world, the group grew stronger, closer, and more confident.
Together!
They developed combination attacks and rescue strategies. They learned to communicate without words and fight without hesitation. And through it all, Nobita felt himself changing. Not becoming someone different, but becoming more himself. The lazy boy who avoided homework and cried at challenges was still there. But so was something else now. A core of determination. A wellspring of care for his friends that ran deeper than he had ever realized. When they finally stepped back through the doorway into Nobita's living room, they were no longer just a group of neighborhood kids. They were a team, and they were ready. Doraki's challenge came at sunset, delivered through shadows that spelled out words in the sky above the neighborhood like the world's most ominous skywriting. The Shadow Arena, tonight.
Bring everything you have.
Where's the Shadow Arena?
Follow me. Secret gadget number 9.
The Dimensional Navigator. It was a compass, but instead of pointing north, it pointed toward whatever you needed to find. Doraemon focused his thoughts on... Hello, Mika!
Doraki's challenge, and the needle spun wildly before settling on a direction that seemed to point down.
Beneath us? The Shadow Arena?
The Shadow Arena is beneath us. Let's go! This way!
In the space between dimensions. We'll need to phase through reality itself to get there.
That sounds dangerous. It is. Let's do it!
Nobita said firmly. The group held hands, forming a chain of friendship that had been tested and strengthened through everything they had experienced. Doraemon activated, the navigator, and the world around them began to shift. Colors bled away, shadows deepened, the ground beneath their feet became insubstantial, and they fell and emerged into a realm of pure darkness. The Shadow Arena was vast beyond comprehension, an endless black void populated by floating platforms of crystallized
shadow, each one large enough to hold a building. The only light came from distant stars that seemed millions of miles away, and the air
itself felt heavy with malevolent energy. Doraki stood in the center of the largest platform, surrounded by an army of shadow creatures, beings made of darkness and nightmares that shifted and writhed with hungry anticipation.
You came. I thought you'd run. Humans usually run.
We're not running.
Nobita said, stepping forward. His voice echoed across the void. We're here to win! Adorable. Let the competition begin. What followed was the most incredible battle the group had ever experienced. Gion charged first, his friendship punches blazing with golden light as he plowed through shadow creatures like a truck. Through fog. Each punch carried his full emotional investment, and the creatures dissolved screaming under the force of his loyalty.
These punches are for my friends! And this one is for Nobita being kind of okay sometimes! Thanks, Ian!
That's not...
With his illusions, confusing them and leading them into traps, he created an army of fake Sunios that attacked from impossible angles, turning the shadow
creatures against each other in beautiful displays of misdirection. The real me is too valuable to fight directly, he announced, watching his duplicates work. I contribute through strategy. Just don't get too close to the...
I'm already too close to the thing, aren't I? You are.
creature grabbed Sunio, but Shizuka was there instantly, her protective barrier blazing to life and burning the creature away. She pulled Sunio to safety and immediately began healing the scratches on his arms. Sunio muttered, actually sincere for once.
We're a team.
Shizuka reminded him.
We protect each other.
Doraemon fought with gadget after gadget, pulling devices from his pocket with practiced speed. The reality eraser took out environmental hazards. The dream paint brush created allies from pure imagination. The awakening cannon disoriented entire clusters of enemies. And Nobita stood at the center of the chaos. His
My friends, hold them off!
Pushed back the darkness. He wasn't the strongest fighter or the cleverest strategist, but he was the reason everyone kept going.
You can do this!
Heart burning with belief. Every time a friend grew tired, his encouragement gave them strength. Every time hope seemed lost, his refusal to give up.
Yeah, let's go!
He shouted to Jian, and Jian punched harder than ever before.
I believe in you!
He called to Sunio, and Sunio's illusions became indistinguishable from Doraki himself, and the entire shadow arena trembled. Doraki, watching from his platform, felt something he hadn't experienced in centuries. Fear. Not of the attacks, reality.
We're going to win!
He declared to Shizuka, and her barriers became impenetrable.
We're a team!
He screamed to everyone, to the void, or the gadgets, or even the power of friendship. He was afraid of something simpler, something he had forgotten existed. Hope.
Enough! Doraki howled, his
Shadows converging into a massive form. He grew, towered, became a being of pure darkness that blocked out even the distant stars. I am the shadow! I am the end of all light! No human bond can stand against me! He launched an attack that could have destroyed worlds. A wave of absolute darkness that consumed everything in its path. But Nobita didn't flinch.
Doraemon!
He called out, his voice cutting through the roaring void.
The last gadget! The 10th secret gadget! It's time!
I thought you'd never ask.
He reached into his pocket one final time, plunging secret gadget number 10, the Heart of Unity! It was small, a simple...
Past every layer, past the 7 sealed gadgets that stirred in their slumber, past the very concept of storage itself, and pulled out something that crystal heart that fit in the palm of his hand. But its light was infinite. Its warmth was absolute. It contained every friendship that had ever existed, every bond that had ever been forged, every moment of genuine connection throughout all of time and space. Doraemon pressed it to his chest, and the light exploded outward. It merged with Jian's strength, Sunio's cunning, Shizuka's kindness, Nobita's belief, and Doraemon's loyalty. It pulled them together, combined intelligence, Shizuka's compassion, Nobita's heart, Doraemon's wisdom. It was unity itself. Doraki's attack crashed against unity and dissolved like shadows before dawn. What is this? Their essences, and created something entirely new. Where 5 individuals had stood, a single being of radiant light now floated. It had Jian's power, Sunio's.
This is friendship. This is trust. This is love. This is everything you...
Lost when you chose isolation over connection.
I don't understand. You don't have to understand. You just have to feel it.
Unity raised one radiant
hand and touched Doraki's chest, and the vampire robot cat who had terrorized dimensions, who had stolen and destroyed and hungered for power, experienced something he had forgotten existed. He experienced warmth. Memories flooded through him, memories from before his corruption. A time when he had friends of his own. A time.
Remember when we played and felt joy? Yeah, before darkness took over. Now it's our entire existence.
Doraki collapsed.
His massive form shrinking back to his normal size. The shadows that had composed his army fled back into the void. The arena itself began to dissolve, its malevolent energy dissipating like fog in morning sunlight. I remember, Doraki whispered, tears streaming down his robotic face. I remember what it felt like to be happy. Unity dissolved, and 5 friends stood where one being had been. They were exhausted, drained, but victorious. Doraemon approached his one.
It's not too late. It's never too late to find connections again. I've done terrible things. So...
Have I? We've all made mistakes, but we've also all had second chances.
You'd give me a second chance? After everything?
Forward, offering his hand to the defeated villain.
That's what friends do.
Doraki stared at the offered hand for a long moment. Then, slowly, hesitantly, like someone remembering a skill they had long forgotten, he reached out and took it. The dimensional return was instantaneous. One moment they were in the dissolving shadow arena. The next, they were standing in Nobita's living room as if nothing had happened. The clock on the wall showed that only...
Is everything okay in here? I thought I heard dramatic music and explosions.
Just playing. Mom, a video game! All right, but keep it down. And Nobita, did you do your homework? I'll do it right after I save the entire
Dimensional multiverse!
Nothing!
In the weeks that followed, life returned to normal, or as normal as it could be, when one's best friend was a robot cat from the future with a pocket containing infinite gadgets. Doraki, true to his word, sought redemption. He used his shadow powers to help rather than harm, becoming a protector of the dimensional boundaries he had once tried to tear apart. He visited occasionally, awkwardly trying to participate in the friendship activities that he was centuries out of practice with.
Do I throw the ball or catch the ball?
Just catch it, Nobita!
See? You got it!
He asked during a baseball game,
Holding the baseball like it might explode.
Throw the ball, Doraki. And this will make people like me? It's a start.
Jian went on to win the local singing competition, not because his singing improved, but because the judges were too afraid to give him anything but first place. His victory. The song was dedicated to friendship and punching things for good reasons. Sunio bought himself a trophy for Best Supporting Friend and displayed it proudly in the...
When asked who gave me the trophy, I admitted I bought it myself. Self-recognition is valid.
But Nobita...
be the kindest person any of them knew, and Nobita continued to believe she was made of actual sunshine and good intentions. And Nobita himself? Nobita remained mostly the same. He still failed tests and slept too much and needed Doraemon's gadgets for things he should probably handle himself. But something had changed deep inside him. He walked a little taller. He believed in himself a little more. And whenever his friends needed him, he was there, not because he was powerful or smart or talented, but because he cared. Because sometimes that was enough. One evening, as the sun set over the neighborhood and painted everything in shades of gold and orange, Nobita and Doraemon sat on the roof of their house, looking out at the...
Hey, Doraemon? Yes, Nobita? Do you think there will be more adventures? More threats? More chances to use your crazy... gadgets? Doraemon reached into his pocket and pulled out a small device that looked like a crystal ball. Inside, thousands of tiny images swirled. Glimpses of
Possible futures, potential threats, adventures yet to come.
definitely, he said. The universe is full of dangers and wonders.
And as long as we face
Them together, I think we'll be okay. Together sounds good.
One representing a world that might someday need their help. And in Doraemon's pocket, the 7 sealed gadgets settled back into slumber, satisfied that they would not be needed. At least not today. But tomorrow was another story. And stories, after all, were what made life worth living. The end. Or is it? Far across the dimensional void, in a realm that existed between moments and inside thoughts, something stirred, something ancient, something that had been watching the battle with Doraki with great interest. A voice that was both singular and infinite spoke into the darkness. The heart of unity. Fascinating. We must observe these children more closely.
Shall we test them, Master?
Not yet. Let them grow. Let their bonds
Strengthen. And then, when the time is right,
Yes, we will invite them to play.
Doraemon's pocket shivered slightly, a warning of adventures to come. But for now, the friends slept peacefully, dreaming of gadgets and friendship and worlds saved through the power of believing in each other. And that was enough.